The Tale of Snow White and Rose Red.
There once was a poor widow who lived in a lonely cottage. In front of the cottage was a garden wherein stood 2 rose trees, one of which bore white and the other red roses. She had 2 children who were just like the 2 rose trees.
And one was called Snow White.
And the other Rose Red.
They were as good and happy.
As busy and cheerful as ever 2 children in the world were.
Only Snow White was more quiet and gentle than Rose Red.
Rose Red liked better to run around the fields and meadows, catching flowers and seeking butterflies.
But Snow White would sit home with her mother and helped her with the housework, or read for her when there was nothing to do.
The 2 children were so fond of each other that they always held each other by the hand.
We will not ever leave each other.
Never so long as we live.
What one has, she must share with the other.
The 2 often ran around the forest alone and gathered red berries, and no beast did them any harm. They came close to them trustfully. The little hare would eat a cabbage leaf out of their hands.
The doe grazed by their side. The stag leapt merrily by them. The little bird sat still upon the boughs and sang whatever they knew.
No mishap overtook them. They stayed too late in the forest and night came on. They laid themselves down near one another on the moss and slept until morning came.
And their mother knew this and had no distress on their account.
In the summer, Rose Red took care of the house, and every morning laid a wreath of flowers on her mother's bed, in which was a rose from each tree.
And in the winter, Snow White lit the fire and hung the kettle on the wrekin. In the evening, when the snowflakes fell,
They sat round the hearth. The mother took out her spectacles and read aloud out of a large book.
And the 2 girls listened as they sat, and close by them lay a lamb upon the floor.
and behind them on a perch sat a white dove with its head hidden beneath its wing.
One evening, as they were sitting comfortably together, someone knocked on the door as if he wished to be let in.
Quick, Rose Red, go open the door. It must be a traveler seeking shelter.
Rose Red went and pushed back the bolt, thinking it was a poor man, but it was not.
It was a bear! Do not be afraid. I will do you no harm. I am half frozen and only wish to warm myself beside you.
Poor bear, lie down by the fire and only take care that you don't burn your coat. Snow White, Rose Red, come. The bear will do you no harm, he means well.
And the 2 girls came out, and by, the lamb and dove came nearer, and were not afraid of him.
So he stretched himself out by the fire and growled contentedly and comfortably.
It wasn't long before they grew quite at home and played tricks with their clumsy guests.
Leave me alive, children. Snowy White, Rosy Red. Will you beat your lover dead?
Henceforth the bear came every evening at the same time, laid himself down by the hearth, and let the children amuse themselves with him as much as they liked. And they got so used to this that the doors were never fastened until their brown friend had arrived.
When springtime came and all outside was green,
Now, I must go, and I cannot come back again for a whole summer.
where are you going then, dear bear?
Into the forest to guard my treasure from the wicked dwarves. In the winter, when the ground is frozen solid, they are obliged to stay below and can't come up. But now that the sun is thawed and warms the earth, they come up to pry and steal. And what once gets into their hands and into their caves does not easily see daylight again.
Snow White was quite sorry for his going away. And as she unbolted the door for him, and the bear was hurrying out, he caught against the bolt, and a piece of his hairy coat was torn off. It seemed to Snow White as if she had seen gold shining through it. But she wasn't sure about it.
The bear ran away and quickly disappeared behind the trees.
It happened that soon after, the mother sent her children into the forest to get firewood.
There, they came upon a large tree which lay felled on the ground. Something was jumping backwards and forwards in the grass close by the trunk, but they couldn't make out what it was. When they came nearer, they saw
A dwarf with an old withered face and a crooked back was caught in the crevice of the tree. Why do you stand there? Can you not come here and help me?
What are you about there, little man?
You stupid prying goose! I was going to split the tree to get a little wood for cooking. I had just driven the wedge safely in, and everything was going as I wished. But the tree closed so quickly that I could not pull out. So now it is tight in, and I cannot get away. And the silly, sleek milkmaid things laugh. How odious you are.
Wait. One, two, three, come. One, two, three. Oh, I will run and fetch someone.
You senseless goose! Why would you fetch someone? You're already too many for me. Can you not think of something better?
Don't be too impatient. I will help you.
Uncouth people! To cut up a piece of my finery! Bad luck to you!
After this, Snow White and Rose Red went to catch a dish of fish.
When they neared the brook, they saw something like a large grasshopper jumping towards the water as if he were about to leap in. What are you doing? You surely don't want to go into the water.
I am not such a fool! Don't you see the accursed fish wants to pull me in? I was sitting here fishing, and unluckily the wind twisted me into the fishing line. Just then a big fish bit, and I cannot pull it out.
The fish kept to the upper hand and pulled the cork towards him.
Was it not enough to clip on one piece? I wish you had been made to run the soles off your shoes.
It happened that soon after, the mother sent her children into town to get laces and ribbons and threads and needles.
The road led them across a heap, upon which huge pieces of rock lay strewn here and there.
Now they noticed a large bird hovering in the air.
Flying round and round until he landed himself upon a rock.
The little man held him. 1, 2, 3.
At last he let his booty go.
Oh, could you not have done it more carefully? You dragged at me, so now I'm all torn. You helpless gummy creatures!
The girls, who were used to his thanklessness, went on their way.
Did their business in the town. This time, as they crossed the heath again on their way home, they surprised the dwarf.
An empty as bag of precious stones, and had not thought that anyone would come there so late.
The evening sun shone upon the brilliant
They
stones.
glittered and sparkled in all colors so beautiful.
Why do you stand gaping there?
Then they heard a growl. Saw a bear coming at them from below.
Drew sprang up in a fright, but he could not get to his cave.
Dear Mr.
me? I will give you all my treasures. Look, the beautiful jewels lying there. Grant me my life. What would you want with such a slender little fellow as I? You would not feel me between your teeth. Come, take these two wicked girls. They are tender morsels for you, fat as young quails. For mercy's sake, eat them.
But he took no heed to his words. I gave the wicked creature a single blow in the heart. He did not move again. Snow White, Rose Red, wait. I will come with you.
And then they knew his voice.
I am a king's son. I was cursed by that wicked dwarf who stole my treasure and forced me to roam the forest as a savage bear. But I have been freed by his death, and he's got his deserved punishment.
Snow White was married to him, and Rose Red to his brother.
And they divided between them the great treasure that the dwarf had gathered together in his cave. The old woman lived peacefully and happily with her 2 children for many years. She took the 2 rose trees with her. They stood before her window, and every year bore the most beautiful roses.
Of white and red.